Welcome to the Self Revolution podcast. This is your weekly reminder to wake up to who the fuck you really are. I'm your host, Breanna Rae Blaney, and it is truly my honor to guide you on this journey of self-revolution and evolution. Join me as one by one, we collectively wake up to create a more harmonious, enlightened, and fulfilled world. Welcome back to the Self Revolution podcast. Today's topic is purpose. Have you ever felt like this word purpose has been thrown around constantly and it feels a little ethereal, or it feels like this thing that you need to figure out or problem solve, like I need to know my purpose? Well, today we are going to unpack what it really means to live a purposeful life, but also really give you just a very, very simple tool to help you think about your own purpose, but less thinking actually, and more just allowing it to come from you. Because purpose isn't this thing that we have to go seek or find. It's something that's really innate to us. And so towards the end of the episode today, I'm going to walk you through a practice, one of the most effective ways that I've found to start getting you on the track, on the trail, on the path of allowing your purpose to unfold in your own life. So the word purpose, I really view this concept of purpose from a Vedic lens, which is one of the oldest ancient wisdom traditions in the world, Vedic philosophy. And the word for purpose in Vedic philosophy is this concept of Dharma. And the word Dharma means natural law. And specifically, it says that each of us has our own Svadharma, our own individual, unique purpose, the reason why you are uniquely here in this world. And when we align ourselves, when you align yourself with your unique purpose, everything starts to flow. Doesn't necessarily mean that there won't be challenges in life or ups or downs. There certainly will be, but it does mean that you are more aligned and will feel more fulfilled in terms of really every single aspect of your life, because you're in alignment with why you're really here, that core essence that is really innate to you in your soul. I often say that from the silence of your heart, all else will be revealed. And if you prescribe to this vantage point that you were born here for a specific reason, then that means that to find your purpose, it's much less about actually going to seek it and find it. It's much more about getting quiet with yourself, to create this space to listen to yourself, to allow that to naturally unfold in your life. I also want to dispel this notion that your purpose is the thing that you are doing. I really prescribe to the fact that your Dharma is this underlying essence of why you're here that fuels all other aspects of your life. And so when you are in alignment with your Dharma, that's fueling everything from your career, yes, the physical manifestation of the things that you're doing, but also how you show up in your relationships and the things that you really get out of enjoyment in your life, because you're operating from that place of your unique blueprint and in alignment with who you really are. And so when I think of career paths, or what jobs will I feel most fulfilled in and be really successful in, the first step is getting clear on that underlying why and creating a connection between that and the material thing that you're actually doing. So my invitation for you is to first really get clear on what is your underlying why and being able to articulate that, and then allow that to flow into the decisions that you make in your own life in terms of the actual jobs and material manifestations of those things. And I'll show you exactly how this worked in my life in just a moment. So the practice that I want to bring you through today is something that I have used with a number of clients, and I found it to be the most effective way to start getting down this path. And it's actually the way that I was able to articulate this in my own life as well, because I do think it is very important to be able to articulate why you are here in that material word form, be able to write it down on a sheet of paper, because it does help you keep you focused on the North Star and the direction, and be able to allow you to decide, what's aligned for you and what's not, and continue to move in that redefinition of success. So this practice is called the one word why. So I'm going to invite you, if you are in a place where you can get quiet with yourself, to just sit down. And if that's not possible, no worries. You can always just listen to this and then do it later at another time. But get yourself in a comfortable seated position. You can softly close your eyes if that feels comfortable in your body. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth, exhale. Feel the flow of your breath in and out of your nose. Allow yourself to be present with whatever's there, here. Allow your awareness to trace the flow of your breath, each inhale and exhale. Then bring your attention to the center of your being. Where the center of your chest, your heart is. And when I ask you this question, try to feel the answer, not intellectualize or think much, but allow it to arise from within, from your heart. Take a couple more deep breaths into the center of your being without judgment, anything else that's going on. If your mind feels crazy, if you feel distracted, that's okay. You continue to focus your awareness, center of your being. Begin to ask yourself, why am I uniquely here? What is one word that encapsulates the essence of why I am here? What's one word that summarizes this innate essence of my purpose, of my Dharma? Allow those questions to land in your body, and allow yourself to simply listen and hear what comes through. And trust, often the first word, the first thing that comes through is the most present for you. So trust that. Try not to over intellectualize it again, but really feel it. When you have your one word, you can reopen your eyes. Maybe write that word down on a piece of paper. And what I've found through doing this practice, and this is something that you can continue to do. And if you didn't, receive a word or didn't feel clear to you, I invite you to try this again and try it again and again. Just asking yourself in a place of stillness, what's one word that encompasses why I am uniquely here? Allow yourself to just receive and listen. And for me, when I started doing this practice myself, The word connection had come up some, but the real word that kept coming up for me was truth. And at first, I didn't really know why this was the word that was coming up. And so, again, if the word that came up for you doesn't feel immediately clear, allow that to be. Allow that to be, and allow yourself to just keep sitting with the word. And the reason that I love this practice is it really gives you a very clear starting point of the word. So my word was truth that came up. And after I got this word, I wrote down the word and I defined it for myself, and I would journal on this word. And then I started following just some of the traces down what this word meant. And I started seeing it in different places in my life. One of the mantras I started working with around this time was the mantra Om Tat Sat, which means awareness embraces eternal truth. And I was meditating with this mantra, and it was amazing what was continuing to unfold, what kind of insights I was receiving, and what this word of truth, in Sanskrit, the word for truth is satya, began to mean to me. And over time, this really led me, with some other tools, of course, as well, to be able to clearly articulate my own purpose, my dharma, which I articulate as helping people connect to the core of who they are. So collectively, we can create a more conscious, harmonious, and enlightened world. And so to me, it really is all about, my purpose is all about connecting people back to their innate truth, helping you see who you really are as a human being. And that's what I love doing. And I see that in the manifestations of my physical work, doing things like this podcast, creating the Anya Institute, running retreats, working with people one-on-one. All of those are very aligned with my dharma, teaching yoga, meditating, holding space for others. But also I see that in my relationships, right? With my relationship with Michael, I love getting to the root. I love to get deep. I want to know what our truth is in our relationship as a couple, right? I also find this in what I love to do as play and hobbies. Like, I love getting to the truth. One of the reasons I'm so drawn to Vedic philosophy is because of its roots. The oldest tradition pretty much in the world around that has, so much wisdom around the seeds of how our universe functions. So getting to the root of the truth. And so for me, I share that just as a map of how this can continue to unfold in your life. My invitation for you today is to be with your one word. Define it for yourself. Begin to journal on it. What does this thing really mean to you? See if there are parallels around this word to things that you are doing in your life currently. How does this one word relate to what you are doing for your career and your work? How does this one word relate to your relationships or the things that you really enjoy doing? And then create space and openness to see how this word may be manifesting in other things. Maybe you start to see it in some of the books that you're reading or other signs out there. And just be open to the various connections and threads that this word may take you down. And I think you'll be surprised how you'll really find that there's this natural unfolding and clarity that comes when you allow this to really come from the inside out. The clarity that can come when you really simply begin to ask yourself and get curious around why you are uniquely here. And I'll end by just noting that this is a continuous journey. My dharma continues to unfold. The depths of my understanding of my unique purpose continue to unfold. So even once you have your word or you have a purpose statement, that's great. But allow that space to continue to let it evolve. It doesn't have to be this thing that is static. It can be something that continues to evolve with you because you are an ever-evolving being and we are constantly changing. And that means that we get to continue to recreate and continue to see these things evolve. But it is very, very, very satisfying when you start to gain that clarity and be able to make decisions from an aligned place of knowing why you are really here. Have a great day. See you soon.